Show. Some of you all know me. I am the loudmouth and dirty, and sitting there next to me, not looking so shabby. How you doing, pal?
Man, I'm alive, but good grief.
I can see that. You don't look good, my man. What is wrong with you, pal?
I had a little slight fever.
What?
Yeah.
A slight fever?
Yeah, man.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Hey, it's the temperature's all changing. Had a massive headache. But I'm okay. I'm okay.
Look, it didn't help that we were in beautiful Las Vegas.
I know, right?
For the XFL draft. And we decided we were going to break down the drafts, right? And, hey, listen, we might have a special guest. I don't know. I sent it out to him, Arlington, but we'll see if he'll join us. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, like Champ says, you need some hot water, Arlington.
I do. I probably do need some hot water.
See, I have my hot water right here.
You got your hot water?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I'm just like really starting to get into the swing of things, man, because this is bad.
Right?
This is bad.
So, Arlington, do we want to, before we go into the draft breakdown, because we're going to break down the new team of the XFL, the Arlington Renegades. We're going to be the first one we're going to break down.
Okay. And then I guess we'll mess with the St. Louis Sea Dragons. Is that what?
The Battle Dragons.
The Battle Dragons.
Dragons will be. I don't know if we'll do that this show or if we might do it at the next show. I have no idea yet.
But I do want to mess with those Arlington Renegades, man.
Right. I want to definitely mess with the Arlington Renegades. But let's really get into it, Arlington. You know, and listen, I enjoyed myself at the draft. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. What about you?
Fantastic, man.
That's all you're going to do is just give a thumbs up? Seriously? That's it?
Dude, I told you, I don't have a lot in me. A lot of it I'm going to have to conserve throughout this show.
Oh, is that so? I got to be the boisterous one today?
You just might have to today, man.
I might have to? Is that what you're telling me?
You might have to, sir.
Yo, really? Awesome. You know where you can. I see Arlington didn't put our ticker up, but you know where you can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, all of that good stuff. Oh, there he goes. He did it. Oh, I'm glad to see you could finally do something there, pal.
Appreciate
it. But I mean, I enjoyed the draft. I thought it was very fun. I think the thing that got me the most was when Coach Rod Woodson recognized us and gave us a thumbs up on everything. We did find his sporting complex right across the street, the Rod Woodson Sporting Complex.
Oh yes,
we found that, so that was cool. Because remember, all he said was he needed some
concrete
asphalt and some concrete and a turf, and that's what he got. That's what he gets. So that was cool, and it was funny because we were just standing there, and I'm looking, and I go, Arlington, and we finally got to meet Van out of Seattle, which was cool. I really enjoyed meeting Van.
Yes, Van is a delight.
Van's a very great dude. What was funny was that we were just standing there, and we all look over, and we're all like, "Hey, that's the Rod Woodson." Training center right there.
Yeah, that's right.
It's complex. So then we did a little show. We did a little thing for him, saying, "Hey, Rod, we found your place for you." And then as he was leaving, he stopped by us and said hi, and we said, "Hey, Coach, we found your spot." And we showed him, and he just laughed. He's like, "Hey, I'll do it. If they can't find me a stadium, I'll do it. Let's get it."
Yeah, and that's been the thing, man, is about this stadium stuff. Like, everything that they're showing you, and I got into a couple spats about that this past weekend. Hey, everything that you're seeing is a smoke screen. Let's not forget.
I agree.
St. Louis fans, remember the smoke screen that you got back in 2015 when everybody thought that the Rams were staying in St. Louis? Are you serious? That was nothing but a smoke screen.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It was nothing but a smoke screen. Now, I mean, it was funny, Arlington, because, you left on, what was it, Friday, right?
I did. And
then I actually stayed until Sunday. So it's funny because as I was walking around, and I wish I'd have had some change on me because I would have bought the paper, but the local newspaper was talking about the places where they were talking about playing, and one of the places were where was it? One was going to be
Cashman Field.
Another one was going to be a local high school, and then the other one was going to be the Las Vegas ballpark. So they're still in the works, still doing that. I have a feeling. Andrew. Look, I'm still banking on my speculation way back a few months ago that I made. I'm still banking on the Vegas ballpark. That was my speculation.
I'm right there with you, dude.
But hey, if they play in the ballpark, that would be perfect because, it would give them a 5,000 seat stadium or whatever. So, I mean, that would be a good thing for them.
Why would you have a Pro Bowl practice at Aviators Ballpark and then sit around and say we can't accommodate football?
That's a good point.
What kind of sense does that make?
Right. So
you can't sit there and tell me that you don't accommodate for football.
It won't be
UNLV.
UNLV because they have a Mark Davis is a contract with that saying that nobody can use Sam Boyd Stadium. So
Mark Davis killed all of that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it cost him. Plus, it would cost too much to use Allegiant Field.
Exactly.
So, I mean, rumor is that I was actually talking to somebody there unrelated about the wrestling. I ran into some wrestling fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had said that then they actually worked at Allegiant Stadium, and they're in the talks with Allegiant and WWE to have WrestleMania come there. And Mark Davis has said it's going to be, I think it was like $1.5 or $2 million to hold WrestleMania at Allegiant Stadium. So imagine how much they would want to talk to XFL. There might as well, it's a minor league. It's a minor league team, the Las Vegas Aviators. They're the minor league team of Oakland. So, who knows, right? But I mean, so it's really interesting to see how that's going to work. I just don't see them going to Allegiant, the XFL going to Allegiant. I'm going to go back to my speculation. I'm leaning more towards the Las Vegas ballpark, which I actually drove by at Arlington on Friday. We had to go. We went somewhere and there it was. And I mean, it's a decent sized stadium. It's a decent sized stadium. And then we went by Cashman. Cashman again, a decent sized stadium. Now that high school stadium that they're talking about, went by that again. And I mean, Jesus, for a high school stadium, I mean, it's comparable to a Texas stadium where, they say it fits 5,000 people. I mean, I could definitely see that. So it was really interesting on the three places. So, I mean, it's all over Vegas Business Journal and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Everything that you guys are seeing is a smoke screen at this point.
I agree.
And again, this is the major thing. The XFL is not going to tell you what they have going on. You can read all reports and stuff and think that that's what's going on, and it's nothing but a smoke screen. Y'all know this. You know this. You hear that ever so often when it comes to sports and venues and getting new teams in the mix. There's always something that thinks it's true when it really is nothing but a smokescreen.
Arlington, it looks like we're going to do a special show on Thursday because our special guest just hit me up, right?
Yeah.
He's a drafted player. He's from the Seattle Sea Dragons. Mr. Eric Hansen, the local guy from around the St. Louis area out of St. Charles, Illinois. I sent him the link. He's like, hey, send me the link. I'll see what we can do. And I said, hey, here's the link in case you want to join. He goes, let's shoot for Thursday.
He wants to do Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not? Why not? We'll shoot him the message and see what he wants to do. You want me to ask him? I was like, oh, hey, that's Thanksgiving. Let's see what he says. But he reached out, and let's see what he says, right?
That's all you can do.
So, I mean, hey, if he wants to do it, guess what? We're here for him, and we're here for you guys. So we'll do a special little quick show, on Thanksgiving. I mean, why not interview Mr. Eric Hansen of the Seattle Sea Dragons from St. Charles, Illinois? You know what I mean? Does it really look good for the XFL to be playing at a high school stadium? For the Vegas team, yes. I've reached out to a few people, found out about ticket sales. Ticket sales are doing very well overall in the league. They're actually quite happy with the ticket sales in the cities that they're on. I mean, look, you can go on Facebook and you can see Corey's just left and right posting, we just hired a new guy for here, just hired a new guy for there. St. Louis is doing well. Seattle's doing well. So believe it or not, Vegas is, now that the draft is over, the Vegas got the people into buying season tickets for Vegas. So now Vegas is starting to sell well. Orlando is starting. There it is. Vance says, Eric, rocket to the pocket, Hansen. So I just sent back the message saying, are you sure you want to do Thursday? And let's see what he says. Oh, dang, you're right. Let's do next Tuesday then. So next Tuesday, we are going to have Mr. Eric, the rocket to the pocket, Hansen on. So, yes, so that'll be fun, Arlington. I know Vince and those guys in Seattle will be excited. So it looks like next Tuesday we're going to be breaking down the Sea Dragons.
Yep. You sure
right?
Will. We will.
So where was I, Arlington, as I'm texting Eric back? Where was I?
You just kind of went on a tangent about Vegas and the ballpark situation.
Oh, I was talking about ticket sales.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, look, Pete, you got everybody is, again, I'm going to harp on it again. 27 months. They're out there. They're marketing. I know people have said, oh, the marketing's been terrible, but has it really? Has it really? Because here's why their marketing hasn't been that terrible, Arlington, because everybody has complained about it for 27 months, and yet they're not losing interest. They're still tuning in to see what the XFL is going to say. So is it really a terrible marketing ploy of what they've been doing? I mean, am I wrong?
No, not at all, man. No.
So,
and also what you have to keep in mind, man, is that wait till Friday. Just wait till Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about this marketing ploy. Wait till that XFL shop click and you can get certain stuff off.
Yeah, exactly.
Off, 40% off, 50% off. You will be right back grabbing merchandise.
DJP, they can play at Cashman for 1 year. Then there is the MSL soccer scheduled to start construction in Vegas in 2023. So if it's done, they can ink a deal for 2024.
You know what? I don't know about that.
I don't know.
What I know is,
look, I'm going
right
by
now,
speculation, Arlington.
I'm sticking with that too. I'm with you on that. I think the Aviators ballpark will be.
You're going to agree with me on one of my speculations?
Yep.
Well, now why is it a cluster duck? That's what I want to know. Well, listen, anybody can say why put a team there. Look, they had a deal inked. Originally, the deal was supposed to be with the Sam Boyd Stadium, but then it came back. Mark Davis was like, "No, we're not doing that." Blah 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 blah. Right? So, I mean, really, it was Mark Davis that kind of held this up. So, I mean, they had it. I mean, we got to remember, people. This is all this stuff has been in talks for months and months and months and months. I mean, we told you guys months ago that
27 to be exact.
Yeah, they already signed with the dome, right? We told you the Alamo Dome. We told you Chalk Field. We told you before all of that stuff. Yeah, you're right. Mark Davis and his short haircut, worst owner in the NFL. That might be the guys who own Kansas City because, God, that team can barely win. I mean, I think most of their wins have come by 3 points or most, to be honest with you. You know, and Travis Kelce might be the worst tight end in all of football.
Are we really doing this right now?
Just getting the shoves off all the time. No.
Are we really doing this right now?
Let's get back to the XFL. What's up, Brian? Oh, here's that one block. We're going to block them again.
How we keep getting them?
Because, man, we do. I don't know how.
I don't understand it. I don't understand.
I don't either. Now, so tickets have been selling really well. In Vegas, after the draft, ticket sales have went up. Orlando, ticket sales are going up. You know, so, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, look, they're doing something right. Whether you want to believe it or not, their marketing is doing something right. You know what I'm saying, Arlington?
Yeah.
And we keep talking about the XFL. People keep going and watching shows like ours and shows like Reed's and Mark Perry's and over there at Newsroom and News Up. They're into it. I mean, so let's just see how it really goes. You know
everybody's going to have a complaint about what this league is doing, right? Because it's not manifested in a way that they would believe how it would come out, right? So 7 of 8 venues have been locked in, okay? You don't know what the 8th venue is going to be yet. Why you put the city out there if you don't know what the venue was? Because like you said, they had a venue, but there was a roadblock.
Exactly.
You have to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
You have to adjust. That's in everything that don't go your way.
You're right. Yeah. Exactly. And guys, this Saturday we are going to be on Heels and Reels. Reels and Heels show talking XFL with Brian and them. So make sure you go and check that out. We'll put it up on our page so you guys can know when we're going to be on talking XFL.
And also you can check out my recent episode on Girl Chat Sports. I talked a bit of XFL on there as well. So
I'm going to mute you because I wasn't invited. Could they move to where the Nevada Wolfpack plays?
Where do they play?
Where does the Nevada Wolfpack play? I mean, I wouldn't see why they couldn't. You know what I mean?
Where do they play?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm looking it up right now as we speak of that. Let's see. Nevada Wolfpack.
McKay Stadium. Okay, all right.
Oh, that's in Reno.
It's in Reno. It's not in Vegas.
That's like a 4-hour drive.
That's in Reno.
I mean, maybe they could, I guess, right?
And that's more like all else fails. But then if that's the case, it wouldn't make a lot of sense because if you said Vegas, you put them in Vegas, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, but that was, let's get back to the draft. That was one of my highlights when, and Coach Woodson definitely he ain't driving a Prius. That dude was in a big Ford F-250, jacked up, and dude looked ripped as all could be, and we showed him where the Rod Woodson Sports Complex was, right between the Apex Center and the UFC headquarters, and he was like, yep, I'll play there. Tell them to put the turf down. So yeah. So what is the closest college? That's UNLV, but Sam Boyd is close.
Like when I say UNLV is close to the Strip, UNLV is really close to the Strip.
Look, maybe if this Zach says maybe if the Vegas sales tickets sell well, that the XFL will eventually work with the Raiders about Sam Boyd. I don't think it's going to happen.
Sam Boyd is closed for good. Sam Boyd is closed for good. Let me say it again so you can hear me. Sam Boyd is closed for good.
Now,
so stop asking about Sam Boyd Stadium. Stop asking about Sam Boyd Stadium. Stop asking about Sam Boyd Stadium.
Calm down, boy. You're sick. You're not feeling well. I might have to mute you.
Hey, when I'm sick, don't get me riled up.
Now, this is the one I could see more than anything right here. That they could play at Cashman for 1 year, and then they could play in the MLS stadium. I could see that, but look, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it. I think they're gonna play in Vegas. I don't think they're gonna know it. Andrew Arlington. Andrew wants to know about Sam Boyd Stadium.
I've already said my piece on it. I know why he's doing that.
But another one of my highlights was give Coach his shirt. His shirt.
Hey, you should have had that pulled up, man.
Oh, I should have. That's all right. You can go on our Facebook page and see the shirt.
Hey, Coach Beck couldn't have been like, he was like, what? You for real? You brought it for me? Yeah, it was like that shirt.
I told you, Coach, I was coming. And he was like,
look on his face.
The look on his face. He was like, oh, wow, you guys really are here.
Coach Beck couldn't have been, I mean, his eyes got big and bucked when we started waving the shirt in front of him. I need to go get the shirt. So you can see
that's okay. That's okay. Maybe I'll wear it next Tuesday. Are you sure they are closed? What's closed? Yes, Sam Boyd. It was just in Vegas. Sam Boyd Stadium is closed. 100% closed. It's not. It's closed.
It's not open to the public. That's the truth.
It is true. It's not open to the public. But anyways, the other thing that I thought was great is that when it's close, just like the Raiders. The other thing I thought was great is, after the draft, we're packing up, right? And the XFL gave us a gift, which you saw in the picture, where the official board, which you'll see next. You'll see. I was supposed to get it today. I was hoping to get it by showtime, but I don't have it. And I know because, like I said, I'll be rearranging the studio so before I won't have the football field behind me, but I'll be having the stuff that we got from the draft, which was really cool. I'll have the Fill the Top shirt hanging up behind me, stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool that the XFL came out and said, hey, here you guys go. Here's the draft boards. Thanks for coming out. We really do appreciate it. And we're like, we're just here to, we told you we're here to help grow this league. And that's our entire plan, And I mean, it was great really getting to meet, Van. And then we met two other guys, Brock and what was his name, Arlington?
Steve? Was it Steve? No?
Right, Brock and Steve, who actually, who were there, which they were really cool. And then we met some USC officials. They came out and talked to us. UFC, which Arlington, since they announced it, since they told us, can we talk about that, you wonder?
About what part?
Well, I got my UFC water, but that's going to be hanging up too back here behind me.
You're going to hang up some water?
Well, I'm going to put it on the shelf behind me. When other chance you're going to get a UFC water?
That's true.
Now, we won't talk about it. We won't, we just know a few things. That's all we'll say. Right, Arlington? Right? Don't we always know something? All right, so such a duck and mark. Yes. Hey, it was cool though. It was cool. It was a great thing. I love the new logo. If you guys haven't noticed, which I'm about ready to show you the new logo, there is a new XFL logo. We put it out.
It's a slight minor adjustment,
but it's them moving forward, like they said.
Slight moving adjustment, man.
Something tells me that the Vegas Vipers will play at Allegiant until they have that new soccer field built. I'm telling you, they're not going to play in Allegiant. I'm telling you now. As much as we would like,
everybody's butt with that. Allegiant is totally
quit.
Out, at least for now.
Quit moving. Every time you move, you break up.
Allegiant is out.
Yes, 100% out. 100% out. You know, like when you meet some people who actually work at Allegiant in the office, and they tell you certain things, you know, which they told us. So they said they didn't say we couldn't talk about it.
Allegiant is out.
Yep, Allegiant is out. So, Arlington, are you ready? Look, okay, I got to give a big shout out to Reed with the Markcast doing an 8.5 hour show. Mark Perry over there, them guys doing an 8.5 hour show. It was fun. Hey, more props to them. You know, if we'd have been at the home studios, we probably would have done that too. But we were there, so we didn't have to do an 8-hour show. That's why you saw little hits. So let's really talk about it, Arlington. Are you ready? So here it is. This is the first part of it. This is the offensive skill draft report. But let me do this first, okay? Let me go here. So the Arlington Renegades, their two quarterbacks are Drew Plitt and Kyle Slaughter. Now, some of you guys remember who Kyle is. Kyle played for a certain team.
Yeah.
Last year. Did he not, Arlington?
Yeah, this past season he did. He played over in the USFL.
Right. And, if I'm not mistaken, Arlington, didn't he have a little stint in the XFL too?
In the NFL with the Jaguars.
In the NFL, the Jaguars. And as you notice, the top pick right here. Would you like to say who that is, Arlington?
Oh, you're talking about Sal Cannella, his main target when he was in New Orleans in the USFL?
Yes. So it's awful funny that. Now remember what we do know about Coach. Remember, because they have our former coach over there, right? Jonathan Hayes, right?
Correct.
So, and again, it's a Southern Miss guy. Jonathan Hayes likes those Southern Miss people. Likes those guys from Mississippi a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, he had a stint with the Broncos, had a stint with the Vikings. Slaughter did. Arizona, Detroit, the Bears, and then the Vegas. And then he played in the with the USFL with the Breakers, right?
Right.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Arlington, his favorite target might have been that number one guy.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
You're right, man.
So here's why we call them the Renegade, the Arlington Renegades, right? Arlington, how many players do they have that are former of 2022 or 2020 BattleHawk players?
Now, I've seen at least 5.
Mm-hmm.
5 players. Like, there's more.
Well,
that Keith Ford that you see on the screen right there.
There you go. Good old Keith Ford. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Who scored the first touchdown in BattleHawks history. Yes,
he did. They have Keith Ford, who's there.
Right.
So
everybody's favorites, Marquette King and Taylor Russolino, are now.
Let's keep going. Now, though, I mean, if you look at this, so look, we went Sam Ganella tight end, right? Now, Tuggle right here, their wide receiver. I think that's a great pickup, right? Then Keith Ford, and then you got Sean.
What I've learned with the Arlington team is that they're going to want people that can do some blocking, of course, make some catches. But John Hayes was a blocking tight end. You saw these tight ends that were selected: Sean Byer, Alex Ellis. They want to make sure that they are covered with those running backs and receivers. Make sure that Kyle Slaughter is standing, or my speculation, Jordan Teamu being a quarterbacking the Renegades.
Well, I mean, let's not forget either, though. Let's look at the other guy that they got right there. The kid from right here from Notre Dame, Dexter Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't that he wasn't a slouch at Notre Dame. I mean, so they have a lot of runners and a lot of guys that can do some stuff on the playmaking side by this right here, right?
Yeah, and you got to understand that every squad is going to have some playmakers that can, do some wonderful things. It's just that how it's going to translate to put points on the board when you're in the XFL season.
Exactly. So now, if we go back here to their defensive backs, right? Again, one name that should pop out to everybody: Will Hill.
St. Louis, it should. Will Hill.
Will Hill, right there.
Also, Defender fans will remember Mr. Raheem Moore.
Yep, that is true. And if I'm not mistaken, where did Hood play?
Did Hood play for the BattleHawks?
That's what I'm looking at. I think so. I mean, it was funny because we were watching this, the people that these teams were taking, right? And we were just like, wow, look who they're drafting. Look who this is right here, right? Well, I mean, I know he was, he played for the Bengals, so that's, so there you go. I mean, right there. I mean, look, this isn't really, it's not, I mean, they did actually a pretty good draft if you think about it with Arlington.
And when you have two defensive minds like Jay Hayes and Tim Lewis, who are both defensive coordinators for the Renegades, they are going to be a tough team defensively. Because if you can follow the mindsets of Tim Lewis and Jay Hayes, guarantee you there's going to be some success going on in Arlington.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you really look at it. There looks like there's going to be, with the way that they have their stuff set up, and it looks like you're gonna see in Arlington, you're gonna see that, type of run shoot type offense that they had in St. Louis. You know what I mean? In 2020 is what it looks like. You know what I mean?
They might have a better quarterback to do that with. We'll see.
They might. And then if you go into the round, if you go into the defensive front side, again, another name that sticks out: Will Clark, Nick Temple, Josh Watson. So it wasn't like they didn't pick up terrible players.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, if I'm looking at this draft, let's see. Then you go to the offensive line. Look, I mean, right there's another guy that should be familiar to St. Louis people.
Brian Folkers, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the nope, and then we're back. Now, let's see, they don't have, I don't know why I'm on their Facebook page, but they don't have their punters and kickers for some reason.
Yeah, you got to go to Twitter for those, to get those information, get that information out there. But yeah, of course, we mentioned Marquette King and then Taylor Russolino.
Here we go. I got it now. Okay, hold on.
You pulled it up?
Yeah, I went to the actual page itself. All right. So this is the XFL page. And now, again, all three of these names should be familiar to St. Louis fans. There you see him. I mean, hey, big shout out to Taylor and big shout out to King that they both got picked up. You know what I mean? And then Antonio Ortiz. All three of those guys, former St. Louis BattleHawks back in 2020. Now they are part of the Arlington Renegades. So, yeah. I mean, now, like Brian says it here, they look decent, right? Brian says they look decent. They sure do. They do look decent. I mean, to be honest, they had the best kicker. They have the best kicker.
See, now here's the difference. The best punter, yes. Now he's going to be playing out in the open. He's not going to be playing most of his home games are going to be in the open. It's not going to be in a dome stadium like it was before, where he can make those booming kicks. Can he still make those booming kicks?
I mean, if you follow him on his Twitter page, I mean, dude just blasted a 55-yarder into the wind.
Okay, that's fine.
You know,
you got to have 11 other people that's trying to stop that kick.
Right? Hey, you're right, Zach. I mean, listen, those people in Arlington. But here's the thing. I think with Bob Stoops there, I mean, if you look at this Arlington, how would you rate the BattleHawks draft by all their players?
Like, am I giving a number? Am I giving a grade? Where are we going at?
Well, I mean, however you want to give it. You want to go A, B, C, D, E, F?
I mean,
or A, B, C.
Looking at it, it's a solid B. You know what I mean? I understand if you look at. I just want to see how they all put together when the season begins. That's all I'm really worried about.
You know what? I'll have to agree with you as I'm looking through this. I mean, look, they got a lot of fast guys, right? A lot of young guys, right?
Former guys.
Now, a lot of guys that we're familiar with and with the BattleHawks that were former BattleHawks. I'd give them a solid B also on the way that they drafted. I think they did very good. And I think and again, like we had said, and like we had said with the mayor of the XFL van, is that each one of these teams, right? No, I would not want a trade. I don't want to trade. I don't want the BattleHawks because I actually like a lot of the players that the BattleHawks drafted. I want to see something different. I've had the conversations with Coach Beck. I know what he wants to do, right? And as you see with these teams, right, and especially with the Arlington team, we're going to see it looks like we're going to see a lot of fast-paced stuff by the way these teams were drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the big hope is to make sure it's not sloppy. If you're going to do fast-paced, you got to make sure it's not sloppy. And granted, they're not going to have a lot of time to do it in, but you want to see how they utilize. I want to see Bob Stoops with his crew. And
look, Bob Stoops is a great coach. I mean, he just got settled down by having Jarvis Landry. Well, and in the open round, didn't Dallas draft somebody big in the open round?
Is that what you're searching now?
Yeah.
In the open phase?
Didn't they have somebody big?
I thought it was a quarterback that came over there.
I just Googled it. Hold on. Let's see.
And I will give a major shout out to USA Today for featuring the XFL in their article.
Right? Yeah. Big ups to them. Big ups to them. I know it's on. I mean, dude, there's so much to find. It's so hard to find everything that you want to find on this. It's just too much, right? So here we go. Let's see. Here we go. And
that's you need to keep in mind, Sandy, is that people that lost, you do have a great team. And honestly, you want to go get the same team that you got from the previous season. It would have been nice to have, but it's not going to happen. This is a different coach, different regime, so they're going to want a different type of team.
I agree. I mean, I don't think that the 2020 version of the XFL BattleHawks would have done very good, in my opinion, with the coach they have now. That's just my opinion. I mean,
we'll see.
What do you think?
Gradkowski, it looks like if you got Gradkowski as your offensive coordinator, they want to air it out a bit.
Yeah, that is true. You are absolutely right.
A passing attack. And I want to see how serious AJ McCarron is about the XFL. Because you know when you see names,
Mm-hmm.
you see names in this league, you want to see if are they going to take it serious. I'm like, if you haven't gotten this shot, we talked about this, Dirty. Holding the clipboards for years and years and years. We'll talk about the Promise draft. I promise, Brian. Just not today. When you get guys years and years and years that's been holding clipboards and not get a total shot at playing, and here you get this opportunity to play in the league where you do get an opportunity, are you not going to take that?
Right. I mean, yeah.
You're going to take that shot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want to see what AJ McCarron has. And granted, a lot of people are, especially in St. Louis, are probably looking at Ryan Willis to be the guy. But I want to see what AJ McCarron can do.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, like here they got that Flynn Nelson from Northwestern, or Flynn Nagy from Northwestern in the open draft phase. You know, he was a Renegade back in 2020. So there's a familiar name like that. Landry Jones was the big name in 2020.
Exactly. And guess what? Landry did not take he's going to say he did. I don't think he took the XFL series in 2020.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so. Now, look, the biggest person that we were all shocked by, and I'll look, there's two of them, and I'll talk about it too, because, ooh, man, I mean, you know, Arlington, the biggest name to shock everybody, I think, in the XFL draft might have been the former Pro Bowler, Vic Beasley. Listen, screw it. We'll go with another. You know what, Arlington? Screw it. Let's do it.
I don't wanna.
Let's go to another team. You right? You ready?
I don't wanna.
Hey, you know what? Look, we already broke down. I mean, we already broke down the Renegades, right?
And there are a lot of them, you know.
But let's really talk about it, right? Oh man, I think the team that might be the best team, Arlington, in the XFL.
Hey, team without a venue.
I'm gonna give this team an A.
Is the team without a venue? Is that what you're telling me?
Listen, it might be the team without a venue, but here it is, the Vegas Vipers.
The team without a venue.
I mean, look at this. Martavius Bryant.
Yes.
Look, Martavius Bryant, Matt Jones, Isaiah Macklin,
Jeff Bidet.
That's Garrison Gunther, DeAndre Torrey. That's one hell of an offensive skill set. Am I right? Huh?
Today's a quick one, too. Martavius Bryant, I seen, if you saw the video, he spoke with The Rock and Danny.
Don't forget who else he spoke with. He spoke with Coach Woodson.
Yeah, he spoke with Coach Woodson, and he read it.
Woodson told him, hey, you're either playing or you could stand right next to me. You know what I'm saying?
And he said he ready to electrify, man.
Yeah, and Vegas, and let's not forget, and Vegas has Luis Perez as one of their quarterbacks. Imagine that. And who's the other guy they have?
Jawan McClendon.
Yeah, Jawan McClendon. So think about it. Could we see another 2 quarterback set in Vegas? I mean, look, I'm going to go back to this offensive front they have, right? This offensive skill set. This team ain't no joke, man. These 11 guys on this team are not a joke. Like, I could literally see some forward passes that we wanted to see, right? You know?
Do you think they're looking like an old DC Defenders type?
No.
What was that? The Vipers of old in Tampa?
No.
They had 2 quarterbacks, though. Remember, they had 2 quarterbacks.
That is true. But to me, I wouldn't put Arlington Renegades, Michael, no offense, I wouldn't put the RenaHawks at number 2. I wouldn't. I'd put them around. I mean, it's kind of hard to rank the teams, you know what I mean, on the drafts. But, I mean, Vegas, with just this front 11 right here, gets an A+ just on that, in my opinion.
I can't just sit there and say that. It's a great draft.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of former names that played in the XFL, and then you did get some big ones. Well, Martavis Bryant, you got Vic Beasley. Go ahead and pull up the defensive.
Let's go to their defensive.
7.
Let's go to their defensive backs.
Go to the front 7. Go to the front 7.
Go to the defensive backs. I mean, and here's another thing you get to see a lot of: Garden City Community College.
Yeah, you do get to see smaller schools. You know, get drafted HBCU players. Also getting into the mix, you know, that's what the showcase was for, HBCU showcase in Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know, we got to see many of them drafted into the XFL.
Okay,
so I was happy with that.
These guys, all of these guys here on this, right, are hitters, just like Rod Woodson was. They're hitters.
I mean, that's the reason why he drafted them. That's the main reason why he drafted them.
Now, let's go to possibly the best front 7 of the entire XFL draft.
I don't know about all that, but
really, led by that guy right there. Are you serious? That's a pro.
It's a fantastic choice, man.
Look, one of my other favorite players, PETA. PJ Dawson, CJ Avery. And you're right, Ranger. You're right. Seattle and Houston both have absurd good offenses, and we'll talk about that on another show. And you're right again with San Antonio and DC, power run game. Yes, they do. Absolutely. I do not feel like, Zach, as much as I love you, brother, I don't feel like the Vegas team is going to be relocated to Los Angeles. Do not think so at all. They are banking on Vegas. Look, Stokes from Oklahoma, Jawan Johnson from Texas.
There's my HBCU with Rod Henderson.
I mean, come on. That might be the best front 7. You know what I mean?
It might be. It's good. Like I said, it's good looking on paper, man. But
right now, we'll go to the offensive line. Not too many names on here stick out besides
Clayton Bradley, the Vegas.
And then another, you got another guy right here from Jackson State, Trey Johnson.
Yep.
You know, those are the 2 that really stick out to me. Here's an East Carolina kid. You know, and I mean, again, Rod Woodson went big on his offensive line.
You got to. You can't sit around and have somebody and that's what's the crazy part about these teams is that offensive linemen are, in this case, have been hard to come by.
Yes, they have been, for sure. Now, Arlington. They have, then they have Jalen. Yes, you're right. And they do got a lot of quality pieces. They do. Now, Arlington, for the Vegas Vipers. What are you giving them?
I mean, they did good. They did very well in this draft. There's no slouches here.
A, B, C, D.
I had to give them an A, man.
I'll have to. Oh, right. My bad, Zach. Yes, my bad. We'll see them add even more in January. You're right. We will. Zach was replying to the comment. No, I said that Vegas is in the Los Angeles team that had been relocated. In Orlando, Orlando is the New York team relocated. So the only market really 100% gone is Tampa Bay. You're absolutely right. What's up, Wyatt?
What's up, Wyatt, man?
I would definitely say Vegas, out of the two teams that we just did, Vegas is number one, and Arlington right now, because that's the only two teams that we're breaking down, is number two. Oh, and then they got Kevin Anderson. Arlington did. I forgot about that. Kevin Anderson is the guy who they picked up too. So,
is that from the quarterback supplemental?
Yes. But Arlington, I do like what you said though. That your speculation is that Jordan Ta'amu will be
the Arlington Renegades.
An Arlington Renegades. Now you got to remember, there were 442 non-quarterback players drafted. Oh yeah, Kevin Anderson is the spring league foot soldier. Right. There were 442 non-quarterbacks selected to the 8 teams, right? Now remember, wait
a minute, hold on. How many?
442 non-quarterback related players selected Wednesday and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
442 non-selected?
Non-quarterbacks selected. But now you got to remember, because then, they also said that in December, they were going to do another supplemental draft, right?
Yeah, January.
And then they were going to do something else in January also. Now, again, so there's a chance that we can even see more players. And they even said that the players that weren't drafted in the draft on Tuesday and Thursday, or Wednesday and Thursday, could be picked up into the draft at a later time, right? So what is this? Ranger King says, I don't think Arlington's drafts Slaughter's ex-teammates and one of his top USFL targets, just not to intend to start him. Absolutely correct. Orlando needs a guy like Ta'amu desperately, even if they love their own guys. Ooh. I have a feeling that, look, I'd like to see Jordan go to Orlando.
I want to back it like this. I want to back the XFL.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm speculating that he's gonna be a Renegade.
Mm-hmm.
DC does need more quarterbacks, Andrew.
They do. We will talk about that, because as of right now, DC only has one quarterback. I want
to say they have 2. It's just that one of their quarterbacks is in the NFL, and then when season ends, he'll be assigned to the team that he was originally assigned to.
Which that would be
DC.
No, the guy you're talking about would have been.
Oh, I'm talking about De'Aaron King.
Yes. Yeah. So.
You know what? I don't believe it. I don't know if it's true or not. But I'm just believing that the only reason that he wasn't there, and a lot of people had him high that he was going to be there, is because he went to the NFL and he's on the Panthers practice squad.
Mm-hmm. Ranger King says if they have somebody who's talented, though, I expect them to have King come back to camp. And very good possibility. Brian says here, just a thought. Could they be denying that the Raiders Stadium because they want to announce that championship game will be held there? So even though they say it's out maybe legally, but they have to because they want to make a huge announcement. Look,
they're not going to play it in Legion Stadium, not for no championship game.
No, you're right. We knew exactly who you're talking about with DC, but we're gonna do DC another day. So, look here. I'm gonna speculate this: the championship game is going to be held in Chalk Stadium.
Yup. Bingo.
That's where it's
at. That's your answer. You got it.
Think about
move it away from headquarters.
Yeah, the XFL headquarters is in there. They have all of the homes and stuff like that. They have all the housing and stuff like that, right? So, why move it anywhere?
Why move it away from headquarters?
Now, the championship game will not be in St. Louis. It will not. It's going to be in Arlington.
Wishful thinking, Zach. Wishful thinking.
No. St. Louis might be there. Yeah,
all you fans can come down and enjoy.
Look,
the weather.
just like he said, perfect weather, league hub, major league facility, good capacity. And you're right, Arlington. We were in Choctaw Stadium, and it is easy to travel to. We were in Choctaw Stadium. Now, the only complaint I had is they didn't have enough people there to man all of the stuff, like all the concessions and stuff like that.
That's because they did not know what they were expecting.
Correct. I think so. But I think this time it's going to be a lot better. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Dallas or Arlington in April.
No, hey, if we look at it right now before we leave, if we look at the schedule, we're looking at a championship weekend, the first weekend in May.
Well, Arlington is he's a few hours away from
about 3.5 hours. So.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, if I do, y'all got to sleep on the floor.
Here, look, Michael Latham says it from over there, Player 54 podcast, 100% because of its league headquarters and the 3XFL fan bases in Texas. Again, just saying it. Don't know if it's true or not. The championship game will be held in
Texas.
Choctaw Stadium. Look, I mean, here Zach says, but I think all of the sort of things will be fixed just like it was about to be at the Dome for the game. That never happened. Oh, yeah, right. I agree. I think this time they listen. They looked at everything in 2020, right? They saw all the problems, right? They're going to fix all of that stuff. They're going to get it all fixed. I don't think we're going to have as many problems when it comes to the stadiums as we did in 2020. And look, you guys can all sit there and hate on me all you want. I don't care. You want my honest opinion, and this ain't kissing the league's ass. I think this time around, they have done 100% better than 2020 with the way that they've released things, in my opinion.
And we talked about that. For the simple fact of the matter is they want to make sure that what they're doing is right. Yes, granted, they don't have place for what we've seen. We don't know about the venue in Vegas, but that's being worked out behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on. All right. And the XFL back in 2020 and 2019 kind of had to throw things out there just to see about saying that, hey, we got things done with probably behind the scenes. They did not. But they want to make it seem like on the surface that it looked good.
Right, yeah. I agree with you. I mean, look, the things that we've heard after the 2020 season, there were a lot of things that, look, you guys could say, and we can all sit here and say what we want. You're right. Got to cross all the T's and dot the I's. You're absolutely right. And we said it 1,000 times. I don't think we'd have been in season, what would be now, season 4?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have been in season 4. Because of the stuff that we know. Yeah. Think of all the things that we know now. Think about it.
You think with Vince still would have followed the league?
I do. I honestly do. I am far more worried about the dozens of local level positions still unfilled. It's almost December. They got to hustle. Look, again, I'm going to say this. It's all been playing out on social media pages. You just got to know where to play. They have all the people in place. A lot of these people that we don't know have been in place for months. Remember, all of my speculations have all come true, whether you want to believe it or not. They have. Worst case scenario is that Vegas doesn't work out and they leave. The Rock ain't failing in Vegas. The Rock is not failing.
No way, Jack. No. For what we experienced in Vegas.
Andrew, you said that one, not us. Not us.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Andrew says the merch and the local PR could improve.
I ain't saying nothing about that. I know nothing. Anyway,
Andrew, say it loud and proud.
The simple matter is this: Vegas is not failing because of what they had transpired in Vegas. When we experienced, man, there, let us know they ain't trying to fail it in Vegas at all.
Okay, so here what he's saying is, I mean, I've seen a lot of posts about who's been in place, but they're still adding more jobs posting and unfilled positions over the past few weeks. Are they really? Because I met a lot of people at the draft that haven't even been announced yet.
Smoke screens.
Met a lot of people at the draft that have not been announced yet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I can say. There you go. You got it. It's like the movie industry. When places like Deadlines, Hollywood Reports, etc., announce an actor or director to film a movie, but behind the scenes, it's all been done for months. That's exactly what the XFL is doing. Hey,
Right,
I have too. Just telling you. Everything that you're seeing out there is all a smokescreen.
we gotta go, dude.
All in place. We're in overtime.
We're in overtime. We gotta get out of here. Hey, y'all. Hey, before you go, let me do this first before we go. Today is a sentimental day for me because today it's my brother. He passed away a couple years back. Edward Whitman. Today would have been his 40th birthday, and he's celebrating in heaven right now, man. And I miss you like crazy, bro. And in St. Louis, if you have not heard, we lost Jay Randolph Jr., STM media personality on the radio, big in the golf community, and Jay is the reason for my name, the A Train. Those that don't know. And losing a man that young at 53 years of age, you know, that's rough. You know, he's still a young and vibrant person. And man, it's crazy. Yeah, and also Jason David Frank, for those that were young like myself, big Power Ranger fans, you know, we lost him too. So yeah, we losing some great people all around the country, man. And Dave, you guys are on my mind. I love all of you guys as well. So I know love on somebody during this Thanksgiving holiday. Man, it's so much dirty, man. I'm like, dude.
Hey, look. Like we've said it before, please check on your friends. You don't know when they're going through something. It was great. I mean, Arlington, it was great catching up with you. It had been 8 months since I'd actually seen you in person. You know,
you saw me at a place where I was not, I was down.
Right. It was great. It was great meeting Van. We had talked to him on the phone. It was great seeing the mayor of the XFL out there, So, I mean, guys, you never know. Life is short. It's a holiday. Reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, love you, man. Thinking of you. Other than that, this is the X-Fan Show. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all of that. You can find us on YouTube at Pro Football Alliance, on Twitter, on YouTube at Pro Football Alliance. For myself, Dirty, and my family, I want to wish all of you guys a very happy Thanksgiving and safe holiday. Hope you guys all.
Don't forget, Reels and Heels will be on
Saturday. Right here, you guys. Look, right here. No, we are not. Arlington doesn't want to do a show on Thanksgiving, but I would like to do a little happy hour thing, but I don't know. I'll be eating so much food. I'm going to be right there, as you see it, the link for Saturday at Facebook, Reels and Heels Official. We will be there live on that show. We'll put it up on our page so you guys can come and watch us. We'll be talking XFL and probably some wrestling too, because, 30 is a huge wrestling fan. But for myself, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Much love to all of you guys. Yeah. Arlington, brother, it was great seeing you. The monsters are coming to get me.
That's our inside joke. That is our inside joke for real, man.
Monsters are coming to get me, Arlington. I'm out.